Hello everyone and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Surge T, and in this video I will be talking about AEW Dynamite for this June 26th, 2024 episode. And that sounded redundant, didn't it? But anyway, let's move on. MJF opens the show, and as Tony Schiavone said, MJF has the ring. What? I mean, has the ring, has the floor, has the mic, baby, has the ring? Yes, he's in the ring. Does he have it? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, he's out there, and then Daniel Garcia comes out, Buffalo's hometown boy. They're in Buffalo, New York. And Garcia thanks MJF for helping him last week. But he is willing to do something to MJF that no one has done before, no one has ever said before, and that is to say good things about him. He was the longest and youngest champion, and he gave him advice. This is him talking about what MJF did for him, about not only being a lackey or a background player, because he was like that, in the Jericho Appreciation Society. But he says that he should be a pillar. But Garcia wants to be more, and not just settle for that. And he wants to be the backbone, the workhorse, and the very foundation that AEW was founded on. Danny chants are heard, and he thanks Max. But he says to Max, if you talk shit and be two-faced, then Buffalo's going to be coming after your head. Max shills about his match with Hechicero, Etch-a-Sketch, whatever his name is. I know his name is Hechicero, but he has a match with MJF at Forbidden Door. I mean, like I said last week, at least he's being featured. At least he's being mentioned. At least we know who Hechicero is now. And then also, MJF talks about his appearance on Collision. And then he has one thing to say to Garcia, and that is, thank you. And he proceeds to tell him that he worked for his shots, whether it be for the world title or just proving he belongs. He's talking about Daniel Garcia. And then he challenges Garcia for Wembley Stadium at All In. And Danny Boy is about to accept, and then we hear Will Ospreay's music. And Garcia has his eyes on Will Ospreay's international championship. We've seen that in the past. And Will Ospreay, he appreciates Daniel Garcia and acknowledges Daniel's intentions on wanting the shot at his title. Next week, he gives Garcia a shot, and to sweeten the deal, to sweeten it, he's going to put up the world title and put that on the line as well. But he isn't the world champ yet. We talk about counting your eggs before they're hatched. And Garcia is told by Max that he needs to focus on the challenge of Osprey, because Daniel Garcia was actually going to answer Max, but then he says, you know what? Don't worry about what I said. Worry about your challenge of Will Osprey. And then Swerve comes out and he ain't having it. Then he tells Osprey to show up for their tag team match against the Gates of Agony in the main event. Another one of those instances where can they coexist? Vince McMahon was very notorious for always doing that. And I always call Tony Khan, the way he books and all this stuff, is like he's Vince McMahon Jr. If Vince McMahon wanted a son that was like him and that exactly did what he did, Tony Khan is definitely better than Shane McMahon, because isn't it that those two don't get along anymore? But I've always likened those two to each other, Vince McMahon and Tony Khan. Now, the BCC, the Blackpool Combat Club, and Los Gobernables de Japón, which has Shingo Takagi and two others, Teton and Hiromi. I don't know. And is it me, or is the BCC seemingly only fighting CMLL or New Japan talent most of the time? Don't know if you noticed that, but I've noticed that. I'm just thinking, what about the talent there in AEW? Yes, they do go against them, but it's mostly these guys. Maybe it's just a way to put them over. I don't know. Now this match was very physical, the way I like my matches, but in the end, a chair shot by Mox to whomever. I don't know who that was. Maybe I think it was, who was it? But it draws a DQ, and the LIJ wins this one. Now, Tetsuya Naito comes out on stage, and this is on the heels of the New Japan World Title match at Forbidden Door. And then they go at it on the rampway, and then Danielson and Takagi face off in the ring before they do battle at Forbidden Door. Neither one of them struck first. Neither one of them even attempted to do that because I guess they want each other, their opponents, to be at 100%. Can't blame them. You don't want any kind of questions left in the air. You don't want people saying, well, Danielson was kind of injured at that confrontation. That's the reason why Takagi won. And vice versa, right? Now, Switchblade Jay White and Rey Fenix battle in another opening round match in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Now, we see in the match that a DDT from Jay White isn't enough. But why not? He delivers a sheer, after that, he delivers a sheer drop brainbuster to ensure that Phoenix will assuredly get injured one of these days. I mean, here he did that. Could have easily injured him. I mean, a DDT. And then following it up with a sheer drop brainbuster. It's like, why does Rey Fenix do this? Why does he allow himself to be put in those kind of situations? Does he want to be injured again? I get it. It's about those holy shit moments. It's about those fight forever moments, I guess, whatever you want to say. But you want to, Tony Khan, do you want to ensure that your wrestler, who's probably one of the most valued wrestlers in this promotion, to get injured again? One DDT and then maybe give it a rest and then have some other offensive type moves, but then you follow a DDT up with a damn sheer drop brainbuster. It's another way of you dropping somebody on their head, on their damn shoulder, whatever. It's like, what the fuck, But then we see a belly-to-belly pile driver. But it's reversed by Jay White, and he delivers a Blade Runner and picks up the win and advances to the semis in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And then the Patriarchy come out, and is there something going on here? I thought. Didn't realize that there's something going on. And it looks as though they're there to eye the unified AEW Trios Championships. I guess it's a perfect fit for the Patriarchy. You got Christian, and you got Nick Wayne, and you got Killswitch. Going after another title. I guess the TNT title is no longer valuable to Christian, I guess. Whatever. Now the EVPs have something to say. Of course they do. They always do every week. And then they say next week the Elite they're going to decide to enter into their own wild card into the Owen Hart Foundation tournament and go on to challenge the World Heavyweight Champion and bring the title home to the Elite where it belongs. Who is that wild card? And we all know that the wild card is going to be facing Jeff Jarrett. So who is that? Who is somebody who is connected to the Elite? Is Hangman Page on the same page with the Elite? I know that I know that he's no longer. I mean, there was a little bit of, we saw what happened between those guys last time. So, and that he doesn't belong into the Elite if I remember correctly, right? This is a brand new Elite. So who is the one? Is it somebody from Japan? Now, they say this, and then they're gonna all have the gold because they said that Jack Perry will win the TNT title. He has to advance, and then he has to win the whole tournament. And then you add that to the tag team titles and the Continental title, like I said, the world title, and then you talk about forecasting their futures. These guys want to be Nostradamus and shit. Making these predictions, forecasting. Like they're a bunch of damn, what do you call it? Like they're a bunch of damn, psychics and shit. They got to win the titles first. I don't even know if that's going to be even possible. Right? It can be if they put their EVP nonsense into it, book it to where it's going to be to their advantage. But we'll see about that. And then the Acclaimed are in the ring and talk about winning the Eliminator match and earning their title match. And they claim to be on track to beat them. And all right already, like I'm going all right already with the sexual innuendos and calling the young bucks the young cunts and other things. What did Anthony Bowen say? Like douche nozzles and all that stuff. And I go, we get it. It's just like it got to the point where it's just like, okay, guys, kind of reel that back a little bit. We got it. You got to be saucy with the language. You want to show the WWE, look at us, we can cuss and we can curse, without abandon, just boom. But hello there, Acclaimed and everybody in AEW. WWE, as soon as they get to Netflix, they're going to be uncensored. So, does it really matter? You're trying to one up WWE by showing how many times you can curse and how many times you can say the C word and all these other sexual shit, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been a big fan of the Acclaim, but during that time when he won the tag team titles, I was kind of like on board. But I don't know anymore, And here's the thing though, I was thinking, geez, how many segments is AEW going to have? Because again, the Bucks come out and then they challenge the Acclaimed at Forbidden Door in a trios match. But in Daddy Ass, he has an ace up his sleeve, and that is in the form of New Japan's president, Hiroshi Tanahashi, who will team with the Acclaim to take on the Elite. And this is another one of those instances where those guys had the graphic already. Didn't Tanahashi just pop up and they were ready for that? I guess in this instance, you could actually do that here because those guys were all ready. But then again, they didn't know. This is the thing. I was trying to give them a little benefit of the doubt, but this is the thing. They didn't know that they were going to be challenged to a trios match, right? And yeah, here you are. That's the one thing that these guys, all AEW, all amateur hour, they never get that right. Yes, it is part of your guys' script. Yes, it is part of being prepared so that you can pop up that damn graphic. But that doesn't mean it makes sense to have it that quickly. Like I said in the past, how about you go to a break? Then you come back and it's official and there's a graphic. They could make the challenge right then and there, sure, but they got the graphic already. I mean, I've said this before. It's just like it just looks like it's like amateur hour. It looks silly. That you already have it up ready. And this is an impromptu. Isn't this impromptu? They didn't know about this. And yet, there it is. Unless Tanahashi called TK and say, hey, I'm going to join those guys. But then again, like I said, did they know? I don't think the Acclaim knew that they were being challenged to a thing, right? I'm trying to think because Billy Gunn, I don't know, maybe it happened on Rampage and on Collision that there was an allusion to it that they wanted to challenge them and then they just challenged them again on Dynamite. But it is one of those days where I don't, I probably had to watch it again because just so that I can give these guys the benefit of the doubt and go, okay, they're not that dumb. They're not that ill prepared to write a logical segment that makes sense where, these guys were just challenged, weren't they? On Dynamite, and then they have the graphic already up there. Like I said, there must be Johnny on the spot there. He knows how to anticipate what they're going to say. They're going to challenge them to a trios match. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. Ready to go, TK. Are they that quick? I don't know. Now, the Conglomeration, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mark Briscoe. They're talking all kinds of craziness, and even Kyle O'Reilly tried to channel Mark Briscoe and talk as crazy as he does. And all these guys, some of them got matches tonight, and some at Forbidden Door, and they're busy. We'll see. I mean, I like the guys, I really do. But this Conglomeration is really out there. It's just as out there as Orange Cassidy is laid back. That's how it is. But now a 6-woman tag team match. Mariah May accompanies the Timeless One, and then she goes back and accompanies Mina Shurikawa. And she's still showing her non-allegiance to a particular side as she and Storm and Shurikawa take on Saraya, Harley, Cameron, and Anna Jay. Anna Jay, who doesn't know who to belong to. She just goes with whomever can give her a little bit of shine. Who was she with before, right? She was known as what? The Anna JAS, right? Because she was part of the Jericho Appreciation Society, and then before that, she was part of the Dark Order, and then now she's with this version of the Outcast. I mean, she's fit, she's beautiful like the other two. She's got sex appeal, she's got that, that raw talent, that raw ability, right? I don't think anybody's ever accused her of being a great wrestler, but she does decently. She ain't awful. She's learning every day. Every time we see her, she gets a little bit better. Maybe a little bit better, but not that much better. I mean, but then I'm so happy because the Marcel Marceau of referees, Aubrey Edwards, is officiating the match. And let's see what mime techniques we can learn from her. I'm like, yuck. Every time you see this girl. Hey, it ain't me, man. I'm not picking on her to be a sexist or a damn feminist or, not feminist, a chauvinist or anything like that. But watch what she does when she referees. She's always putting poses. And she's always like, she's pausing there. Her mouth open. What are you doing? Are you looking to, like, in case this refereeing bit, referee gig don't work, you could be a mime? Are you gonna be entering a professional twister competition? I mean, what are you doing? She just looks odd when she referees. The facial expressions are just, what are you doing? That's all I gotta say. And then Mina Shurikawa, man, she really does give me Asuka vibes, because when she's out there, she's dancing, she's moving around, she's grooving, and she's so animated and charismatic. I mean, just like Asuka, man. And she really can go in that ring. She is very talented. There's Riho, there's there's Hiroku, Hikaru Shida, Hiroku, and others, from Japan and everything, but she's got something, man. She's somebody that WWE can really, she can work with it because it's sports entertainment, right? It's all, a lot of it's there in WWE still, even though they're recognizing them now as pro wrestlers, professional wrestlers, but still the sports entertainment thing. When you go to WWE, you need to know how to talk on the mic. You need to know how to entertain, be charismatic, all that stuff. And I think she would fit there. She's not being wasted here. At least she's being featured. She's got a world title match. And I'm thinking, this is my prediction. I think that she's going to win. I think, is going to side with her. Now, there is a little bit of a wrench in that, a little thing that, a little, a little road bump. Because, she does end up picking up the victory with the Mina driver. And her team is victorious. There's Wayne, there's Champagne, and even Toni Storm and even Mina Shurikawa, they toasted, right? And then Toni Storm is in front of Mariah May. And then You see Mina Shurikawa reach down and pick up the champagne bottle, and she goes to hit Toni Storm, and then she ends up hitting Mariah May, laying her out. How dare you, says timeless Toni Storm, as Mina Shurikawa is very, very beside herself because she just knocked out her best friend. But I think they'll get past that. I honestly think that, but then again, I don't know. Maybe this is a way for them to kind of swerve, no pun intended, to the world champ. Toni Storm, maybe she decided to take that to kind of make Toni Storm think, oh, and she's going to be by Toni Storm's side, and then, pretending that she's no longer friends with Mina at Forbidden Door, and then Mariah May turns on her idol and allows her best friend to win the title. It's kind of a way out there type of prediction for me, but how long has Toni Storm held that title? Who are we actually waiting for to come back for her to give the title to kind of put someone over and give them the title, right? Really, is there anybody? Really, I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody that. There's no clear cut person. I mean, Jamie Hayter's may come back. I don't know when. Maybe they're going to give it to her, former champion herself, or are they going to give it to, wait for Britt Baker to come back? Hikaru Shida, who's off doing some type of a play and actually getting some rave reviews for a play that she's doing. So good for her. She's branching out. And of course, she's doing that. Why? Because Tony Khan is like not doing anything with her, stuck her on ROH. Yeah, I'm going to stick you on ROH and no one's going to know where you are. No one's going to care. And so she has more than plenty of time to go do a play and do other things that she wants to do. Well, Triple H, how about you find out how long she has under contract, and then maybe you can hire her. I think she'll do very well in WWE. Now, you see a great video package. It's the one we saw before with Mercedes Moné and Stephanie Vacquer. And then backstage, Mercedes talks and addresses Vacquer. And she's actually going to be there on Collision, sitting ringside to watch Stephanie Vacquer as she has a match on Collision, which I won't be watching. But good luck to Stephanie Vacquer and see what happens. If there's going to be any shenanigans that's going to happen out of that. The typical Vacquer and Mercedes going to look eye to eye and stuff. Maybe hold their titles up. And maybe they're going to get into it a little bit. Who knows? But let's talk about this segment. I fast forwarded it. If you guys guessed correctly, it's the boring tree. The learning tree, but I like to call it the boring tree with Chris Jericho. I've been fast forwarding it, and then Minoru Suzuki, who I am a big fan of. I stopped it. I listened to what he said, subtitles, and in pretty much to sum it up, he challenges Chris Jericho for his FTW championship. I'm thinking, is it at Forbidden Door? Because I only stopped, like I said, as I was fast forwarding this boring tree bullshit. And I think that he has a match at Forbidden Door, Chris Jericho. I'm not sure. And all I keep thinking is that when Suzuki does challenge him, and whenever that match happens, I hope he tears Jericho a new one, and then he takes that title. One can only dream, right? And then Joe and Hook and Shibata come out. And then Shibata sums it up what he thinks about Chris Jericho with his translator, and he tells Jericho, "Oh brother, this guy sucks." It's like hilarious. Everybody started laughing in the audience, the commentators and all that stuff. And then they get into it because Jericho is not liking it. He's not digging it. Joe's just laughing smiling at him and stuff. And then he slaps Joe, and Joe smiles, but then you get that look. And even Taz says, "Oh, you don't want that look from Joe." Joe headbutts him, and then they all get into it. Brian Keith has a sling because he was attacked, and he slips out smartly, because why is he going to be in there and try to fight? He has to sell that injury, right? And then they run him out of there. They're heading back up the damn rampway and shit. And I'll never watch a full thing of that, especially them talking, because even Big Bill is talking with that hokey type of tone in his voice, like Jericho. It's like these guys are heels and they're trying to convince us that they're on our side and that, gosh golly darn, I'm here to on the whole thing and trying to teach you guys better ways to better yourself, and I'm actually have your best interest at heart, but then deep down you know that they don't give a fuck. you know. Now, Zack Sabre Jr., he makes an appearance tonight and will face Kyle O'Reilly. It should be a physical match, two great wrestlers, technically sound, but I know O'Reilly, even though he was out, for nearly 2 years, at 2 years, 18 months, I think. But I know him and I know what he can do, and I've seen him even when he's gone that long. I can remember, but when did I see Zack Sabre Jr. last? At last year's Forbidden Door, and then that's it. Maybe a couple of matches, but then I don't watch New Japan. I don't watch wherever he's at. So why should we care about Zack Sabre Jr.? Damn, he's fucking good. He is a workhorse in that ring. He definitely knows his shit. I've heard of his name before, and I've never seen him wrestle, but I've always seen. It's like with Will Osprey. I've never watched Will Osprey before, right before he came to AEW and all that stuff, and I keep hearing about him all the time. So it's just like with Zack Sabre Jr. And yes, folks, this is evenly matched, and then at one point we see them. They're trying to out wrestle each other. They know what the fuck they're doing. They're trading blows, they're trading kicks, they're trading punches. And you see at one point Kyle O'Reilly wearing him down, wearing Sabre Jr. down, kicking him in the back of the leg. You could only take so many of those before you drop to your knees. And then while it was in picture, I loved how I saw an O'Reilly's auto parts commercial. And then as that commercial's coming on, I see Kyle O'Reilly being outmaneuvered and handled in the ring, and you see O'Reilly, and then you see him in there, and I go, what the hell? What a coincidence, right? What a way to put those things together, right? And then the crowd starts chanting, "This is epic." I'm like going, how about that? Something different for a change. And just like that, Zack Sabre Jr. taps O'Reilly out with an armbar. Fujiwara armbar, as it would look like. And I'm going to bring this up. And I noticed something tonight. Every segment or every after-match shenanigans, right? These things are really overbooked. Like all kinds of people coming out, talking during segments, and fighting during their matches. And the reason why I find something to do, because when Tomohiro Ishii comes out, and then of course you have the Undisputed Kingdom in there, and then you have Sabre's goons in there, Sabre Jr.'s goons in there. And it's just like every segment, there's like, you think it's done, and then another people come out, and then another come out. And I'm like going, that's a bit much. Like, Tony Khan, TK, did you want to put everybody on this Dynamite? Because this is the Dynamite before Forbidden Door. Like, what happened to everybody that's in the matches, at least them coming out? A lot of these people aren't going to be at Forbidden Door, right? I don't think so. No? But Tomohiro Ishii coming out, siding with Orange Cassidy, because Sabre Jr. was about to, that's his opponent at, OC and Sabre Jr. are going to be, wrestling at Forbidden Door. So, Ishii was like, you want to jump 3-on-1 against my boy? No, I'm in there. What are they? Aren't they a part of the Chaos faction there? Which I didn't know until like maybe a year ago or so, or recently, that Shinsuke Nakamura was the one that founded that faction in Japan. But let's move on from that. The main event time has Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay go up against the Gates of Agony's Teo Leona and Bishop Khan. They come out in their traditional garb. They look impressive with it on. and they're impressive guys. I really, really do dig what they can do in the ring, but they've been booked so bad. It's bad to see, even though they two-time, along with Brian Cage, the two-time ROH tag team champions. I mean, six-man tag team champions, and that's all they gave them. How come they're not featured more as a dominant tag team in AEW on Dynamite and others? I mean, they've probably been on Collision, they've probably been on Rampage, but like I said, I don't watch that. But it's just like Dynamite is their A show. Why aren't they there? More featured, challenging for the World Tag Team titles, right? They should have been World Tag Team champions already. They're just that good of a tag team. How can you get two guys who are beast? They're put together. They got some good moves in there. Great tag team cohesion between those two guys. They're a very good team, and it's like, we're just gonna put people over. We're in the main event, but we're just gonna put people over. We're not gonna win, or we're not going to even be booked right or booked well. But man, this match had some moments. At one point, we saw Swerve hit a swerve stomp to Toa Leona on the outside. And man, I must say, Leona was moving gingerly. I noticed this about him. Very slow at times. It's as if he didn't want to go full bore on his opponents. Perhaps he's injured, or he's just trying to be safe in there. I don't know. But big dude like that, he went for a splash, and he didn't even connect that fully on it. He just almost like he just wanted to just gingerly just push his body against his opponent and then back off. Like, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if this is how he works. This is how he is in the ring. I mean, I guess you got to give it to the guy because he's trying to be safe, but I don't know if that's what it is. But like I said, it was just something that I noticed. And then we see Osprey and Swerve. They're working over Bishop Khan as he's leaned up against the ropes. And then, he's in the ropes, and Osprey goes to kick him, but then he ends up kicking Swerve accidentally. And then got past that, they decided, okay, we're going to work together. They work together, nailing Leona with the Os Cutter. But shockingly, it's for near fall. And then in the end, with Swerve directing traffic, he signals Osprey, who connects with a hidden blade and then gets the victory. But as Osprey holds his international title, he has his international title with him, and then when him and Swerve get into it, Swerve walks by him. He just takes the damn world title from him, holds it up like this, right? He did that last time. I believe it was on Dynamite last week. And Swerve says, I ain't having this shit. And then he just nails him with probably one of the most stiffest house calls that I've ever seen him, deliver. And he takes Osprey out, lays him out flat. So it's just like, all bets are off now. They say that these guys were friends. Again, with the whole, these guys are friends, now they're broken up, and now they're taking each other on and stuff like that. When are they going to stop with that? WWE was doing that ad nauseum at one point. They still say that, these guys are friends, these guys are but they don't use that as a way to make a program, a really quick fix. We need a rivalry. We need a feud. These two are friends. Let's emphasize that. Let's bring it up. And then what we'll do is we'll break them up. And shoot, there you go. We got one on this side, one on this side. And they're going to fight each other because one betrayed the other. Like, really? I don't think I've ever heard of their friendship before. I don't think it's ever been shown or talked about. Again, that is the problem with AEW. We're not going to talk about it in length. We're not going to follow their story. We'll just spring it on you one day. These guys used to be friends. When? Since when? That's supposed to make us invested in a feud? But because of this, I think Swerve's like, fuck that shit. Fuck that friendship. Hell with that. And if you don't think, Will, that me hitting you with that house call and how definite I hit you in the head with it, if you don't think that means that we are over and all the fun and games is out the door, I don't know what Will Ospreay's thinking. Kind of cocky. He even what do you call that? He even like what's that word? But it's like he kind of like tried to take the shine from MJF was trying to offer, what do you call that? A Daniel Garcia match with him at Wembley, right? Because he respects him so much that he wants to have another match with him. And then Will Osprey comes in. I'll give you your title shot for the international title, but then I'm gonna also sweeten the pot, and I'm gonna offer you a shot at a title that I don't even have yet, which is the World Heavyweight title. And then Swerve even said, "You're already like making matches and putting your world title on the line when you don't even have the world title." I mean, Swerve was like, he had enough. I don't blame him. You want to beat his ass, I hope he does. When it comes to Swerve and it comes to Will Osprey, I lean more towards Swerve when it comes to who I'm going to be rooting for. They're not going to take the title. They're not going to take the title away from him. Why would they? It's ridiculous. Will Osprey has his international title. He's going to make that title good. He's going to really, really put that thing on the map and really make it worthwhile. So they're going to have him marinate with that title for a while. And then he could move on to be the world champion one day. I don't know, Revolution next year, maybe Double or Nothing, right? He's got time. He's still young. Why are they rushing it? Why would you think that they would take the title? But we'll see. We'll see if he's gonna be able to have two worlds, carry both worlds, right? The world title and the international title. Swerve tells him that he doesn't have what it takes to hold both worlds. We'll see what happens come Forbidden Door. But I enjoyed Dynamite. Dynamite's been good lately. Kind of surprised. A couple things here and there. Like I always say that a couple things is not perfect. Raw's not perfect. SmackDown's not perfect. Their PLEs aren't perfect, but there's always something that comes out that you absolutely enjoy. It's pay-per-views here. I get it. It's not PLEs, but regardless of what they call it, premium live events or pay-per-views, they do know how to get you interested. They do know how to kind of lead up to it. I don't think I've seen eliminator matches, right? Were there eliminator matches? No. I'm surprised, right? Previous weeks has been nothing but eliminator matches. Right, even shortly before a damn big title match, I think Stephanie Vaquer is defending her title mere days before Forbidden Door. Do you honestly think that the title is going to change hands when you have a big match at a major pay-per-view? That's not a way to book. That's not a way for your creative and for your booking and all that stuff. I mean, this is not the way to do it. Okay, it's just like people are going to go, oh, she's not going to win. She's not going to lose the title. Stephanie Vaquer is going to be Mercedes Moné versus the person that she's going to lose the title to. Right? Stephanie Vaquer is going to lose it to whoever she's putting the title on the line again. I guess at Stardom, I don't know, or no, New Japan. Her title's with New Japan. But that's not going to happen. But Tony Khan continues to do that. It's just like, stop with that shit. Because it just makes it anticlimactic. Oh, like when Mercedes Moné won the TBS title, it's anticlimactic. We knew she was going to win it. That was her first match. She's going to lose her first match. A major signing, Mercedes Moné. Really? But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by, check this out. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then until next time, take care. And I will see you in my next video.